Captain Ibrahim Traoré, a rising power figure in West Africa. In September 2022, a young man named Captain Ibrahim Traoré unexpectedly took power in Burkina Faso, replacing Lieutenant Col. Paul Henry Damiba, who had himself come to power just 6 months earlier. At 34 years old, Traoré became one of the youngest leaders on the African continent. As time passes, Traoré is increasingly seen as a key figure in African politics, especially due to his strong rhetoric against Western powers, particularly Europe and the United States. Some view him as a liberator championing true African sovereignty, while others see him as a destabilizing force in the region. What is undeniable is that his voice is becoming increasingly influential on the global stage. Why has Ibrahim Traoré alarmed the US and Europe? The main reason lies in the new political direction he is taking. While Burkina Faso had long-standing ties with countries like France, Traoré chose to drastically change course. Within just a few months of coming to power, he expelled French troops from the country and announced plans to seek new international partners, including Russia and other states not aligned with the West. This sparked concern among international observers. Some saw his move as a dramatic shift in regional power dynamics, while others celebrated it as a bold step toward true African independence. Europe, which had deeply entrenched military and economic collaborations in the Sahel region, found itself sidelined as Traoré accused traditional partners of treating Africa like a playground for their interests. Sharp criticism toward the West. Captain Traoré has been outspoken in his criticism of powerful nations, accusing them of attempting to control Africa through biased agreements, conditional aid, and covert operations. He once stated, "We cannot keep calling ourselves independent countries in name only, while we're treated like servants. Africa must choose its own future." These remarks followed Burkina Faso's decisions to shut down French military operations, expel leaders of some European organizations, and cancel several foreign mining contracts. Growing tensions. Much like Mali and Niger, Burkina Faso under Traoré has moved closer to Russia, a country also at odds with the West. Reports suggest that military equipment has arrived in Burkina Faso from Eastern partners, and that Russian personnel are involved in helping the country combat armed insurgencies. These developments sparked debate in Western capitals, with the US and EU interpreting Russia's growing presence in the Sahel as a threat to their traditional partnerships in the region. In response, several Western countries have reduced their financial aid to Burkina Faso, citing concerns over democratic backsliding and human rights violations. Popular support at home. Despite tensions with global powers, Traoré remains highly popular within his country, particularly among young people. Many citizens saw the expulsion of foreign troops as an act of courage and a step toward ending neocolonialism. Traoré is seen by his supporters as a leader who refuses to bow to outside pressure and prioritizes national interest. He is often compared to iconic African leaders like Thomas Sankara, also from Burkina Faso, Patrice Lumumba of Congo, and Julius Nyerere of Tanzania. Still, critics argue that the way he came to power, through a coup, raises concerns about potential authoritarianism and setbacks for democracy and sustainable development. The future of international relations. It is difficult to predict where Burkina Faso's relationship with global powers will go. However, it is clear that Traoré has altered the tone and substance of how the country interacts with the international community, emphasizing national sovereignty over appeasing traditional donors. The US and Europe are now looking for ways to engage with the Sahel region without direct cooperation from Burkina Faso, Mali, or Niger, suggesting that a new bloc of African states is charting an independent path divergent from former colonial influences. Regional implications. Traoré's actions are already influencing neighboring countries. There are notable shifts in how African nations approach foreign relations, as more countries seek independent partnerships, and a development model based on self-reliance and public accountability. Whether one praises or criticizes him, it's clear that Captain Ibrahim Traoré is reshaping West African politics, and that is making former power brokers in the region increasingly uncomfortable.